Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slain Hope. I got another video for y'all. And, and this one, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. So allegedly, the mayor is talking about some stuff about metal detectors in the train station, right? So I'm probably gonna show y'all like a little clips of the video, but y'all probably could go online and see the video yourself. There's I think he was talking to, I'm not sure. This like two videos. It was on the news though. One of them, I think he talking to Good Morning America or something like that. So, but yeah, he talking about metal detectors in the train station. And I told you in the other video that I made about this, about the false flag attack, that yeah, usually behind anything like that of that sort, things is gonna come from it. Laws is gonna come from it, like rules, regulations, a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for safety. I'm definitely, people deserve to get home safe. People deserve to travel in a safe manner. People deserve to be sitting in the parks. People deserve to live in communities who are safe, like which are safe. So I agree with safety. The whole thing is this, right? This is my whole thing when it comes to safety, right? Now I know the government doesn't really care about its people, because if it did, the FDA wouldn't be approving kind of like ingredients that are carcinogens, right? Meaning that they produce cancer in people. They wouldn't be approving ingredients or food that are banned in other countries, right? Or they wouldn't, they just wouldn't do a lot of things. If the government really cared about us, they wouldn't be doing a whole bunch of other things that they already don't care about. And you know what I'm saying? So that's where my whole train of thought comes when it comes to safety and community care, is that they already showed us many times that they don't really care about us. And another thing is this: when you pass laws, like somebody mentioned in my comment section to the other video, that like 9/11, right? After 9/11, the country went to war. They passed the Patriot Act, and then every once in a while they conduct these false flag attacks where they catch a bomber trying to detonate a bomb, or they allow somebody to do certain, it's just a lot of weird stuff. Anytime it comes around election, or anytime it comes a time when they're trying to pass some type of law and justify it, right? And it usually is a law that they're trying to pass that is usually unconstitutional, um and would strip us from some of our rights. So this is the games that they play. They usually let certain things happen, and then they scare the people, and then they be like, well, we're doing this for your own good. So I'm just here to let the people know they don't really care about us. And I could give you numerous examples of the reason why the government don't really care about us, but I don't want to really want to talk about that. My whole thing is this: I'm all for safety and stuff, but when they pass certain laws, a lot of these laws have side effects, right? Like when Bill Clinton passed the 3-strike laws, and when he passed the crime bill, the true crime bill, it affected a lot of people. Not only people who sold drugs, but it also affected people who use drugs. That's a social problem. So these people were evicting people from housing who use drugs, right? That's not fair. But Bill Clinton believed if you're using drugs, you don't deserve housing. So that's just an example of laws that get passed that kind of like have side effects that are unfavorable, and they usually harm the black community more so than other communities. So I'm just wondering what's going to come from this whole metal detectors in the train station, and who knows what else they're going to implement behind this whole 36th Street situation, right? So just like for example, with the whole COVID situation, when COVID was out here going crazy, right? And they implemented curfew, and they implemented whatever mandates that they implemented. We see how the cops use that to kind of like attack black people. The Jewish people kind of like, they was wilding on the Jewish people too. But the whole point I'm trying to say, we see how when they pass certain things or when they implement certain things, the black community always receives the brunt of whatever is going on. I'm just saying that's usually how it happens. So let me play the video before I finally come through with the rest of my commentary.
We have identified some new technology, not the traditional metal detectors that you see at airports. You have to empty your pockets, but no, we are now able to detect if someone is carrying a gun, and it's been used. It's been used in various locations throughout the country. We are going to explore the use of that in our subway system. It is very easily mobile that you can move around. And so we are going to use every method to keep New Yorkers safe.
So yeah, so that's the video. That's just a clip from the video, but he's basically speaking about new technologies that they're trying to play around with, that they're gonna have at these subway stations. I don't know if they got the money to put them at all these stations. Like, I don't even know how they're gonna decide what stations they should go on, what stations they shouldn't go on. But I just know from history that anytime they 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 take the steps into certain measures about hard on crime and certain things, I always know that the black community is receiving the brunt of it. And again, that's why I gave you that example of COVID with the masks and the curfews, right? It's almost like it was a lot of other people outside during curfew, but you see how the police was acting extra aggressive with the black people, right? You seen how, and it was so much backlash behind the police and their brutality against black people that the mayor at the time, I mean that the governor at the time, Cuomo, he had to like stop the whole curfew thing because the police was going nuts out here, you know. So sometimes some of these things, some of these new laws and these new rules, they just open up the door for police to really be wilding. So yeah, so I know it's probably some other things that's gonna come from this. Again, like I said, I'm all for safety. I definitely believe people should be riding the train safe. But there's something very fishy about this mayor with this whole subway thing, right? As soon as he sat down, like he just keep talking about crime and okay, crime is yes, crime is definitely a thing. But he just like I said this on my other video, he just something about that subway that he's just going hard about the subway, right? And I believe there's way more crime going on outside of the subway than in the subway. So if you really care about the people, you should be doing something about the crime in the communities that are ridden with crime, and stop so much focusing on the homeless people. Like he kicked out all the homeless people out the train station. I'm not saying that you know that's not an issue, right? But where are you putting them? I didn't hear nothing about an initiative of creating like more shelters or creating more, you know, I heard something about social workers, but you don't see a lot of that being propagated about alternatives to help homeless people or homelessness in New York City. You see more so tough on crime. So, you know, that's the rhetoric that a lot of politicians oftentimes use. Trump used it when he was running. He kept saying he was the candidate of law and order. A lot of candidates, Bill Clinton did it, a lot of Ronald Reagan, I could keep naming a whole bunch of people. Every time they use this rhetoric as a thing to get elected, right? They use tough on crime. So this is his whole thing. He's been saying that since he came in. But the fact that he was targeting homeless people in the train stations and removing the benches, I just thought that was very weird. Because it's like, bro, like this is your action for tough on crime. Like you weren't about the benches in the train station, you weren't about homeless people. Yeah, so let me get to the comments real quick. Yeah, definitely booty bands top of the pause. Y'all, you crazy, Kenny. What's good, y'all? Take the train. So I want to take the train now. Factual, but you right. I had a dream. Yeah. He said mobile metal detectors. Somebody say he's just trying to bring fear. I don't know. I don't really know what's gonna happen. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. I just like I said, man, every time they sign these laws, every time they do certain things that surround so-called safety, it's always the people that get violated and bear the brunt. So make sure y'all like the video, like my boy Kenny said, man, so it could circulate. So we don't really know what's gonna happen. We don't know how this whole thing is gonna operate with the mayor. But I definitely got to do a video on stop and frisk. Because I got the numbers of how many stops allegedly they made, how many weapons was removed from the streets. So I feel like a lot of times, you know, you got to really pay attention to the stats because they be giving you some BS stats. So, my boy Kenny, yeah, like the video circulate. I ain't gonna be long on this because I might have another video and another topic. I got a few videos I want to make, so I'll probably be back. You know, so definitely he said let's riot. Yo, you crazy. But but yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Is this, you know, like I said, I'm all for safety. I'm just saying that, like, I don't really think the government really cares about us that much. So sometimes when they are coming with the it's almost like with the jab, right? I don't want to get into the jab stuff, but it's almost like with the jab. It's always about safety, 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 about you. But how much do you really care about me if you sitting here right, and you're feeding me stuff that's bad for me? If you literally sit here and you put ingredients in your food like Rev 40, high fructose corn syrup, you put a lot of sugars in things, right? It's a lot of sugars, there's a lot of colorings, it's a whole bunch of stuff that you put in our food that is harmful to us. But you sitting here and trying to tell me that you're passing a law because you care about me. You don't care about me. You don't care. How do you care about me and you don't regulate the FDA and some of the stuff that they have approved that I eat, that I ingest, that causes cancer and all of these different things? But that's a whole nother video. I'm gonna give you a whole nother video about an experience I had from having acid reflux and going to the doctor, and like how they was just trying to play with me. But yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time. Peace.